Hello and welcome. You are watching one of the videos from the Living a Natural Wellness Lifestyle with Faith course. My name is Jade Bolden. Today's topic is called Adolescence Support. Adolescents are children from the age of 12 to 19. Even though this video is designed to support adults and parents with their adolescence, this information can be applied to many different types of people. What I'm going to talk about to you today is very useful information that my friends and family and clients have told me they wish they knew earlier. They find it very helpful, and I hope that you find it very helpful as well. I make these videos because my friends and family and I are creating a movement, and this movement is to help the world be happier, healthier and holier by using divinely inspired solutions. I hope you can join us. I'll talk about those divinely inspired solutions in this video and other videos that I make. This information can also be found in my books, and my books can be found on my website, and a percentage of the proceeds of all the sales of all my books will go to charity, especially children's charities. May I start with sharing with you a story. I do energy balancing sessions with people. With one client, I was trying to help her feel loved and safe. And I told her to imagine a parent that would do everything and anything in their power to provide for and protect their child. And then she pauses and tells me, Jade, I can't imagine that. The reason why she couldn't imagine that was because she had a controlling mother who treated her so poorly that it was almost abuse, and her grandparents weren't that much better. So I said, maybe imagine yourself with your future children. Can you imagine how much you would do to help them feel loved and protected and provided for? And then she got very excited and she's like, yes, of course, I would love that. I would love to provide for my children. Throughout the energy balancing session, she kept telling herself, note to self, remember that. I hope I remember these things for my kids. And because of that, this is why I write books and do my courses. I want to help these lovely ladies have some resource to help them create new traditions and patterns for their lives. And if you have grown children, and you feel like maybe this is too late for you, don't despair. It's never too late to learn these things. You can apply this knowledge on your grandchildren or use this knowledge to help other people and their children. Before we go any further, I want to make sure that you are in the right place. I am speaking to spiritually mature women. So if you're a man, it's okay. I'm looking for faith-filled people who love God and love themselves. I'm looking for people who are willing to own their own power to choose. This means they are empowered and they are brave because they're willing to change. This means they have an outward mindset. They're all about helping others and influencing people. They are willing to take action. They are willing to invest time, money, and effort into change. They are learners, achievers, and maximizers. Our goal today is to inform you and give you ideas. We want to break outdated patterns and behaviors through intentional parenting. Ultimately, we want to create spiritually mature, happy adults, right? We want to help direct our children to their divine potential and purpose. So, allowing God's will to be done. We are not manipulating children to do our will. I want to share with you tools to help adolescents overcome some common challenges. What this is not is it is not a parenting guide, and it's not a comprehensive guide in any way. If you are familiar with my works and my videos, you know that I provide a lot of information. Please don't feel overwhelmed. Don't feel like you need to do it all and apply it all today. Just take what you can. Both my husband and I have started our personal development journey about 3 decades ago. That's a long time to refine and polish ourselves. The things I'm going to share with you today is not to show off. It's hopefully inspirational for you and motivates you to take some actions. Please allow me to share with you some of my background. I actually have very good examples of love, respect, and service. My parents and my grandparents experienced war and poverty. And even though they experienced war and poverty, it didn't harden them. It actually softened them and helped them live more intentionally with more love, more gratitude than most people I know. I am so grateful that my life has been built on this foundation and that my marriage started with this advantage. Here's a picture of my cute parents. This was taken only a few weeks ago. And here's a picture of me and my husband. My parents taught us kids to honor individual power to choose. They respected themselves and they respected others. I remember my dad intentionally trying to change some of the Vietnamese culture that he wasn't happy with. My parents were heart-led people. They didn't have a lot of words, but they showed their love and their trust for themselves and others through a lot of action. They had and still have a great relationship with their parents and their siblings. My aunties and uncles love and respect my parents. They still travel together. They meditate together weekly. They call and text and visit each other. They have dinners together. They are a very close-knit community, and I'm very grateful for that. My siblings and I love each other deeply too. My siblings and I contact each other regularly. My sister and I contact each other on a daily basis. My parents taught us about the importance of service and sacrifice. They taught us to have an outward mindset. They taught us to see that there are other people in the world besides us. I grew up in a home where my parents valued civility, kind words, praise, and focus on the good. My parents never swore at each other. They never used derogatory words. My siblings and I don't do that either. We never tell mean jokes or put each other down. So my husband and I, we don't do that either. Our children don't do that to each other either. When they see it done in others, they are very unfamiliar with it. My parents' marriage was an arranged marriage, and they did the dating and the courting after they got married, and they continue doing that to this day. They're so cute. My husband and I, we make it a point to regularly go on dates too. Our children are now teenagers. They are now aware of this and they express their appreciation to us. My parents have tried to make it safe for my siblings and I to make mistakes. My husband and I have worked on making it even safer for our children to make mistakes. One day when I was about 12, I tried to make cake. My friend told me she learned how to make cake and I wanted to learn how to make cake too. So I thought I can make a cake and I was unsuccessful. I tried again the next day and I improved a little bit. And I tried again and again for a whole week. Some of the cake turned out really bad. It still had batter on the inside. And we actually shared it with people, even our neighbors. It's embarrassing to think back on that experience. But my parents were so kind that they let me use up all the flour, or the sugar, or the eggs in the house and make plenty of mistakes. My husband and I have learned to take 100% responsibility for our relationship and our personal development. Each one of us have to own our power to choose, to think, to act, to believe. And this is one of the reasons why I feel successful. Today, I'm not acting as an expert or a counselor. I just want to share my experience with you. I feel compelled to share some of my divine inspirations with you and experiences in the hopes that it will benefit you somehow. I am an energy balancing with faith practitioner. Many of the clients are parents who struggle with their children, and I've given the same advice over and over again. So you'll hear some of that advice here in this video. Let me clarify right here and now that there are no such things as perfect parents. We are always progressing. We are always changing. We are always getting a little bit better. Don't feel bad about yourself. Just get excited about the opportunity of change. I just want to share with you my studies and my research and my training in childhood development. After I graduated from college, I continued my education and had more training on how the brain works. So what I share with you today is based on those things, okay? More powerful and more important than the training that I had was the inspiration from Heavenly Father. He is our parenting partner for our 4 teenage daughters. So you can see on the screen, my family this year celebrating July 4th. All my kids are taller than me. My husband and I believe that great parenting starts with self-awareness, personal healing, divine personal development. It's when you are clear on your identity as a child of God, when you see the vision clearly of what you're trying to create with your family. We truly believe that all our problems can be solved with faith, love, gratitude, and an outward mindset. In order to satisfactorily address any issues, we need to take the holistic approach. The holistic approach is addressing the body, mind, and spirit dimensions of our being. Here's the link of where this video will live. Please visit my website where you can download free handouts. So let's talk about the body, the mind, and the spirit. Before we go to the body, mind, and spirit dimension, I would like to tell you that we don't have to do this parenting thing alone. It isn't that difficult. For the first 10 years of marriage, I researched high and low on everything health, wellness, marriage, and parenting. And yes, I am an achiever and I'm a maximizer. I was looking to employ powerful tools to help me achieve what I wanted to achieve, which is a happy family. And then about 10 years ago, I had a major breakthrough. I discovered a company called doTERRA and it fit my needs perfectly. doTERRA is an essential oil company that sells supplements and essential oils and natural wellness products. Their products are most tested and most trusted. The essential oils that you can buy from doTERRA is certified pure therapeutic grade. Just so you know, there's many grades of essential oils out there. There's the synthetic grades, which doesn't even come from plants and it's very toxic. There's the food grade that is generally regarded as safe, and then there's the therapeutic grade, and there's no standard or policing out there for the therapeutic grade. So that's why this company established a standard. Their essential oils are tested rigorously by in-house scientists and the APRC. So that is the Aromatic Plant Research Center, and these people are third party, so they're not part of doTERRA. So I really like that. Every bottle of essential oils that you buy will have a code, and you can enter that code in the Source to You website, and you can find the report of the chemical makeup of that particular batch. We need tools to help our work as parents become easier, right? In this video, I will reference a lot of essential oils and natural products from this brand. Essential oils are natural aromatic compounds from plants that are concentrated. So that means it has very high vibrations. I truly believe essential oils and herbs are gifts from God to help us physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. They have very high vibrations. Every essential oil and essential oil blend, they will have their unique vibrational signature. Every emotion is a very specific vibration in and of itself as well. When we use essential oils enough, our body will match the vibrations of the essential oils, which will elevate our emotional state. I truly believe that the doTERRA oils and products are the best. I'm that kind of mother who only wants the best for her kids. So I'm kind of strict and biased about this brand. If you want more information on essential oils, you can find it on my website. Let's talk about nourishing and cleansing the cells. We need quality raw materials to make quality healthy cells, right? And healthy cells will make healthy tissues. Healthy tissues will make healthy organs, and healthy organs will make healthy you. So we must make that connection, right? And we have to share that with our children. But first of all, the parents have to see the value in that first. As parents, your eating habits will influence your children most powerfully. I suggest we eat an intuitively healthy diet. Our bodies will help us feel hunger and satiety. Our body will guide us to knowing what it needs. Children need to know how to read their bodies that way. I encourage people to have supplements even if they're eating super healthy already. There's a lot of research about nutritional deficiencies. Sometimes we don't know the difference between nutritional deficiency and disease. A large percentage of our health problems can be resolved just by nourishing our cells. Our body can be sick and break down because we lack the nutrients and the raw materials for it to function optimally. There's a lot of research out there that says that we are nutritionally deficient people, right? Especially in the US. One of the research articles that I read says that 92% of the US population is nutritionally deficient. Wow. So I make sure that I take supplements and my children take supplements as well as eating a healthy diet. I value the skill of cooking and eating family meals together daily. When I think back, a lot of my memories happen around the dinner table. I remember sitting at the dinner table for hours and hours talking to my dad about different topics, different things that are happening in school. I look forward to dinner not only because my mum makes amazing food with so much love, but also to report back to my parents about my day. I feel loved, I feel heard, I feel important, I feel respected. So I never feel deficient in those areas. With my children, I encourage them to have cooking skills, and I value eating well. So our family eats as organically as possible. We make things from scratch as much as possible because we like to know what ingredients go into our food. When you imbue love into your foods, the foods taste so much better. From a young age, I've taught my kids about food, nutrition, eating, cooking, and so by the time they are teenagers, they have been practicing a very practical life skill for a while. Each of my children can take a night each week and make dinner for our family. We all take turns cooking dinner for each other. They look forward to showing off their creations. Many times we assist one another in cooking. When we have parties and feasts, the whole family is involved in cooking. There's a lot of memories that we've made cooking together in the kitchen, talking together, cutting, stirring, mixing, setting the table together. Those memories strengthen our family relationships. Those are opportunities for us to communicate and get to know one another better. When we eat healthy diets, we continually detox the brain and the body. The other reason why adults and children have nutritional deficiency is because they haven't learned to receive love. So be an example of a person who can receive love. You'll find that your body will absorb nutrients better when you receive love. For more information about nutrition, please visit this website here. You'll find a list of nutritional deficiency symptoms that you can check, because sometimes what we think is a disease is actually a nutritional deficiency symptom. Some parents tell me how hard it is for them to convince their children to eat healthily. I encourage you to communicate and explore the benefits of eating healthily together. Allow your children to come up with the reasons. Allow them to do their own research. Be unattached to their choices. If you are convinced and enjoy eating healthily and give them the freedom to eat however they like, most likely the children will adopt your same health and nutrition beliefs. As long as you're enjoying it, as long as you're making it fun, as long as they don't feel the pressure, they will most likely adopt it and join with you. Keep the gut clean. Think of the gut as a storehouse for building materials. Do you have a good storage of quality raw materials? Do you keep your storehouse clean and protected from bugs and invaders? Keeping it clean means you empty your bowels of the old stuff half an hour after you eat new stuff, okay? Out goes the old when the new things are in. If we don't eliminate like that, we'll have mold and things festering and fermenting in our gut, and that is not pleasant. Keeping your gut clean means you have a healthy diet, you supplement, you take citrus oils in your water daily. Okay, I love using lemon, grapefruit, wild orange. I just have my kids use any of those oils, put a drop or two in water, drink it daily, okay, to keep things squeaky clean. We like to use an enzyme blend called doTERRA, okay, so that we can help cleanse the gut, break food down, help our body absorb nutrients, okay, so that things don't fester and ferment in there. We use probiotics as well to protect the gut. We use the Zendocrine products, which is Zendocrine Complex, Zendocrine Oil, Zendocrine Soft Gel. We use it on a regular basis to help with the endocrine support. There's a lot of endocrine disruptors that people are exposed to every day. So the Zendocrine is very important to help reset the endocrine system. When you've cleansed sufficiently, you'll have clear skin. And teenagers, they struggle with that, right? It will help with focus and learning. It will help with mental clarity, okay, so that they will make good decisions. It will help our children with critical thinking and logical reasoning. It helps with hormone balancing. It helps balance the mood and the emotions. At this age, they can be very moody. With a healthier, cleaner gut, it's easier for our children to have higher self-acceptance and self-awareness. I don't like to say self-esteem because sometimes it is confused with comparison. So it's not about comparison with other people. They'll never find happiness in comparison. I mentioned earlier about hormone balancing. It's very important that adolescents sleep well. and sleep a lot. These natural products make hormone balancing and sleep so much easier. In doTERRA, they have the Women's Health Kit, which even the men and boys can take too, because we eat the same foods, we're exposed to lots of xenoestrogens, right? And this kind of balances the estrogen. If your estrogen level is too high, it helps bring it down. If it's too low, it rises it up, okay? And your body will know the balance. When you use nature's products, your body will be able to find your healthy balance. There's an oil blend called Whisper that helps balance hormones. Frankincense is fantastic for boys and girls. Clary sage is phenomenal for hormone balancing. Thyme is wonderful for progesterone. So try these and you'll see the difference. For sleep support, you can use the Serenity oil and soft gel. You can use the oil in the diffuser. Now, boys and girls need this too. The adaptive products help you feel calm and relaxed. So those are fantastic. Vetiver is amazing to help the brain stay focused and centered. Cedarwood helps with sleep and calming the mind as well. And Magnolia helps with calming and relaxing. So go ahead and try these beautiful products. It makes life so much easier. Before doTERRA, I shopped around so many places for quality, clean products, and it was very difficult. And now I have a one-stop shop. So easy. Make sure you use natural toxic-free products on your children. There's a lot of products out there that are neurotoxins. That means it's toxic to your brains, and that are endocrine disruptors. That means it messes with your endocrine system. So thyroid, prostate, testes, ovaries, uterus, breasts, you know what I mean. In doTERRA, we have the natural hair care products. Use natural skin care products. If we're talking about makeup, I found a couple of really good brands. We are very careful with soap and deodorant. My kids are not allergic, they don't have skin problems or anything. If your kids are using makeup, make sure you use a healthy brand. We use essential oils for perfumes. A lot of the perfumes out there are petrochemicals and have lots of xenoestrogens. For all the little health concerns, we don't want to use any drugs or medications. We want to use essential oils first, and it's been sufficient for us. Our kids will experience growing pains, so we need muscle supports. The Deep Blue products are designed for muscles and joints. You can massage it on. There's a herbal supplement that you can take. There's oils that you can rub and massage on. It's amazing, super easy to use. You can also use lemongrass. All the different fur oils are fantastic for muscles and joints. So massage it on. Your kids will have a beautiful spa experience. The Aroma Touch oil blend is fantastic for massages. The Copaiba is so good for the endocannabinoid system. The Rescue blend is fantastic as well. So there's all of these choices. You don't have to use them all. You can pick and choose the ones you like. I'm just giving you the options, okay? Let's talk about daily mood management, just keeping the kids happy in general, okay? When you wake up, you can use the blend Arise, Cheer, Citrus Bliss, Peppermint, or On Guard. Any of these oils will help the children wake up more happy and perky, okay? Because sometimes they can wake up grumpy, right? And we have oils that they can use throughout the day. So we have Adaptive, a blend to help with anxious feelings, Beautiful to help them feel beautiful. Beautiful is a blend that helps them feel self-acceptance. Balance helps them stay grounded. Brave helps them be brave. Calmer helps them be more calm. Okay, Clary Calm helps balance the hormones. Great for the cramps during that time of the month. In Tune to help them stay focused. Help your children smell the oils and practice using it, and they will be able to tell you which one is working better. Okay, so in the evening, to help them have quality sleep, we can use Adaptive again. It lowers the cortisol level, help them shut down the monkey brain with Balance Oil, help them feel calm and relax with Calmer or Clary Calm. That helps with the hormone balancing also. Use Vetiver to help them rest and sleep. Use Spikenard on the feet as well. Okay, so we mentioned sleeping oils before, but here are some extras. Here are more options. Other oils to help with special mood management. I'm going to list out essential oils that you can use. If you're familiar with essential oils, go ahead and use it the way that you feel inspired to. Children this age need help feeling confident and secure. I don't like saying the negative, so I'm going to say all the positive. So to help them feel confident and secure, Bergamot, I can do. Beautiful, you are beautiful, right? Cassia, you can do it. Self-assurance. Douglas Fir, you can do it differently. You can be yourself. Fennel, Own your own power. Okay, grapefruit, honor your body. Coriander, integrity. Don't self-betray. Black pepper and pink pepper, no comparisons, no competition. Love and accept yourself. Social support, they want to make friends, right? Marjoram, cedarwood, coriander, neroli, adaptive. I'm going to expand on these topics in a minute too. All right, so for kids who are indecisive, we have cassia, cinnamon, lemon, ginger, spearmint. There's many ways we use these oils. We can smell it, we can massage it in, we can drink it. It just depends on the person. If you don't know how to use these oils in the different ways, talk to the person that introduced you to this video. If that person is me, I'll do a consultation with you and help you pick the right ones, okay? So for children who feel frustrated and impatient, we can help them by using cardamom, lemongrass, cilantro, wintergreen, and spikenard. Okay, those are fantastic oils that help with the brain and help them calm down, feel more patient. Besides physically supporting them and mentally and emotionally supporting them, we want to support them spiritually as well. And this, I feel, is very important. Encourage adolescents to develop and understand themselves better. And this is how I would do it. Help them know that they are beloved, important children of God with divine potentials. Tell them these things, and you have to be a good example of this too. Encourage them to develop a personality and unique characteristics, so no labels or limitations. In the olden days, adults used to tell children to be quiet. They don't want to hear from the children, and they don't want to encourage the children to develop personalities or unique characteristics. Sometimes adults label children, they label each other and label other people too. But labeling causes a lot of limitations. Let's not have any conclusive labels like the smart one, because these classifications maybe helps you understand people a little bit better, but it reduces their freedom, okay? Because in the eyes of the person that labeled them, they have to fit into that mold now. I hate it when people tell me, I want to figure you out, or I'm trying to figure this person out. I feel like we don't need to figure people out. We can assume the best of people, look at their actions. I like to respond in a case-by-case situation. We can collect patterns and get to know people a little bit better that way, and then be able to make wiser decisions. But I still don't like to figure people out. I like to accept people for where they're at right now. Okay, so I don't need to make any conclusions about them, because that's not my job. Help your children discover and identify their likes and dislikes. They're allowed to like things and they're allowed to dislike things. It makes them unique. Help your children discover and identify their strengths and their weaknesses, and help them understand why collaboration works. We use our strengths in a community. If everybody uses their strengths to support one another, we'll have a better community. And we don't have to be good at everything, and we don't have to strengthen all our weaknesses immediately. And our weaknesses doesn't mean we're bad. Help the children feel safe to change their minds and evolve. As I said earlier, we are dynamic beings. We change all the time. Who we are now might not be who we are in the future. Hopefully we've improved. Okay, so open your minds up, allow people to change and adjust. I don't like it when people say, you're the serious one and you're the party one. It's not helpful to anybody. So have different, better conversations, okay? I like to have regular conversations and communicate clearly with our children. That's why I like family time. That's why I like meal time. Sundays are our family days. Monday nights are our family nights. My husband and I try to help our children articulate our values. We talk about changes and feelings and loves and dislikes and crushes and school and work and friends and future decisions. We like to talk about all sorts of things there. So there's plenty of things to talk about. Our children appreciate when we share stories about us when we were their age and what we've learned. They feel understood when we share some of our struggles and our weaknesses and our worries and our mistakes when we were their age. Help them set standards, develop personal creeds, help them dream and set goals. For example, one of the things that we talk about is loyalty. We never say mean or bad things about our family members. I'm glad with our children we talk about our personal creeds and our standards. So when opportunities arises, they've already made their decision. One of my girls had a friend. The friend asked, which sibling do you hate the most? And my daughter said, I don't hate any of my siblings. Why would you label, this is a sibling that I hate the most and this is a sibling that I like the most? Why? We allow each other to change. We allow ourselves to change. So we don't want to limit our relationships that way. We don't want to limit our love that way. So I was very proud of my daughter. Another daughter came home and said she's so happy with the group of friends she has because she has her standards, and she met friends that have these same standards. They all believe in God. They speak kindly to one another. They love to learn. They love to praise. They don't point out weaknesses and talk bad about people. Okay, so she was so happy with her group of friends. They do a lot of things together. I'm so glad because we've created personal creeds, personal policies, standards that we like to keep. You can use the different essential oils to help your children clarify their identity and strengthen these beliefs, okay? If our children have a clear divine identity, what's the benefit in that? Okay, the benefit is they become more decisive, more secure, confident, focused, proactive, strong, happy, productive, friendly, and spiritually mature people. They have an enhanced power to choose. As I said at the beginning, my husband and I started our personal development journey very early. I remember when I was about 12, I picked up the Dale Carnegie book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and I tried to read it. I tried to listen to Tony Robbins' tapes. When I met my husband, he told me that he did very similar things too when he was younger. So as a young person, both my husband and I have tried to clarify our divine identity. Because of that, we really have enhanced our power to choose. We identified the kind of people we wanted to meet, and we met them. I had a big long list of the qualities in a husband that I wanted, and I met him, and he likewise had the same thing too. So we were very fortunate to meet each other and be married in our early 20s. At that age, we've already started our personal development journey, so it was really easy for us to continue to have our personal development journey together. I would talk more about having an enhanced power to choose. One of the benefits of having a clear identity is you understand the difference between belonging versus fitting in. Belonging means you know yourself and you know where you belong and your role in a community. Fitting in means you don't know who you are, you change yourself to be like everyone else. Okay, so you don't have much of an identity, and you're not going to be happy. If you have a clear identity, you won't measure your worth and value by your outward appearance or society's measures of achievements so much. You know, whether you look cute or not, whether you wear the trendiest things or not, it's not a big deal. These people actually become the trendsetters, not the trend followers. So that's pretty awesome. People with clear divine identities have better, more successful relationships with everyone. Okay, with their spouse, with their children, with their parents, with their siblings, with friends, okay, with business partners, with bosses, with everyone, okay? They will not be distracted or attention seeking or needy or draining on others. They are the producers of society. These people don't need the world to accept them and approve of them because they're already accepted and approved by God. These people know their divine path and purpose because they know who they really are. Let's talk about the power of choice. We want to encourage adolescents to develop and understand themselves better by understanding their power of choice. It's very important that we honor the power of choice in ourselves and in others. We need to recognize our power to choose in all situations. You know, we are programmed to fight for our agency. We are agents to ourselves. You and I are very likely to rebel even if we know what we're going to do is wrong, when we feel that our power to choose is threatened. Kids will naturally rebel too if they feel that their power of choice is threatened. For me, to avoid our kids needing to rebel, we just give them their freedom of choice. We try very hard not to rob our children of their power of choice. They just have to have a sense that they have the power to choose. So when they were younger, we say, here's the option, which one do you want? So they feel the freedom to choose these options. As our children grow and become teenagers, we present more options for them. One thing I feel like we have to remember as parents is we don't hold our children responsible for our own happiness. Okay, please be unattached. Okay, choose to be happy regardless. Okay, they have to feel that freedom. We cannot manipulate them. Okay, be confident communicators without manipulation. When children feel the freedom, they will most likely choose the right. Make it safe for the children to make mistakes and take risks. We are all here to learn and grow, and making mistakes is part of learning and growing. Okay, if they are free and safe to make lots of little mistakes under your roof, they are less likely to make big mistakes later on. There is a big danger of over punishing. What I mean is, if the child did something wrong, the natural consequence is sufficient punishment for the child. For example, if the child touched fire, they get burned. It's painful. If the child forgets his homework, he doesn't get the grade. That's sufficient pain already from a natural consequence of their action. Okay, as parents, we don't have to yell at them and take their devices and shame them or hit them or whatever it is that some parents do. We don't have to add to it. We don't have to play God and add to it. In my opinion, the natural consequence is sufficient. If we overpunish, we're sending a subliminal message, and the message is, you are not good enough. You don't learn your lesson. As a parent, I have to emphasize the lesson for you. That trains the child to self-abuse when that child gets older. That will cause the child to be scared to take risk, scared to push through, scared to start something new, scared to try again. It's very damaging. We have to clarify that making mistakes doesn't mean failure. We have to clarify the value of making mistakes. Making mistakes means you're growing. I tell my kids making mistakes means you're growing. You can ask any of my kids, are mistakes bad? And they'll tell you no. Mistakes mean you're growing. Okay, you tried and you can try again and you can try again. In the end, if you've become what you wanted to become, then you're successful. We had to define success clearly for our children, and we have to define failure clearly for our children. Failure means you don't try. That's it. If you don't try, you failed. But if you keep trying, you're successful. Because the definition that we have given for success is that you're a little bit better than you were yesterday. That's it. Because we are always in the middle of progression. There's never an end to our progression and growth and change and learning. So we can't hold happiness out. We can't hold success out. We need to have success now to attract more success. So our children feel like they're successful, then they can attract more success. If our children believe that they're failures, they'll keep attracting things that support that belief of failure. And we tell our children growth means growing pains sometimes, the discomfort of newness. So I hope this makes sense to you. Success is if you're better today than you were yesterday, that you've improved a little bit. Failure is you didn't try. Failure is you're stuck. You haven't grown. I give this very easy example a lot. Pretend that you're learning how to do multiplication tables and you tried all year to learn your multiplication tables. Every day you go to school and your teacher gives you a quick multiplication quiz. You get a lot of mistakes at the beginning and then you get less mistakes, okay? And towards the end of the year, you get it right every single time. You've nailed it. You know all your times tables. You've memorized it all. You are a master at your times table. You've become a person that can do times tables now. So does it make sense for the teacher to say, you're not a success, you're a failure? Because look at all the mistakes you've done. It just outweighs who you are today. Okay, it doesn't make sense. Those mistakes were important and necessary for this person to become who he or she is today, you see? So mistakes, it does not equal failure. Many adults have perfection paralysis, not because they're afraid of failure, but because failure means punishment. And they punish themselves so severely that they have learned not to try. They've learned not to take action. They've learned to be very passive. And I would like parents to prevent that from happening in their children. Help your children identify cultural trappings and social dogmas. What do I mean by that? Okay, so for example, the damsel in distress. We watch movies that portray the damsel in distress. Okay, the message is women are weak and we need a hero to save us. Sometimes it's fun and romantic. If you truly believe that you're a damsel in distress all the time, that means in the subconscious, you want other people to help you with things because you can't do it, okay? And then deep down inside, you also want to be empowered and do things too. But it doesn't match with your belief that you should be a damsel in distress. And so you have a lot of conflict. You see what I mean? Okay, so we clarify with our kids, if you're a damsel in distress, you might attract a chauvinistic man who want to make all the decisions for you, who want to think for you, who don't want you to necessarily think because he's going to take care of you. But then at the end of the day, you're like, I can't do anything, I can't breathe, he's so domineering. But wait a minute, our subconscious has adopted the damsel in distress role, you see? So sometimes that culture is bad. All right, so we have to clarify, we have to talk about it, and we have to consciously and intentionally make choices of who we want to be, okay? So that's just an example. We can go on and on and on, but that's just one example of cultural trappings and social dogma. For example, there's expectations about birthdays or Valentine's days or holidays. So just clarify with your children. So just have these conversations with your children. Sometimes it's really unnecessary drama, but we create it because we have the conflict inside that we haven't clarified. One of my friends tell me, Jade, my husband doesn't understand me. He doesn't give me flowers and chocolates for Valentine's Day. And I asked her, I said, did you tell him that you want flowers and chocolates and stuff on Valentine's Day? And she said, no, he's supposed to know. Right? And I'm like, there's your problem. All right. 1, you need to know yourself. 2, you need to communicate. When my husband and I first got married, we decided we didn't have to follow the cultural trappings and social dogma. We'll pick and choose what we want, and we can do things quite differently if we wanted to. Okay, we have to understand the purpose behind it, and that's it. There's not unnecessary drama and disappointments. Honor the heart energy and creative powers. Teach your children to honor their heart energy and creative powers. Help them recognize their heart energy. So when our children are excited and happy and energized by something, we point it out. We say, oh, that's a gift, that's a talent, look at you. We help them manifest things with their heart, right? We help them take initiative. We encourage our children to take initiative. We praise initiative, okay? And we want to help them know what right feels like. If something were to happen to me and I'm not there for my children anymore, I will feel very comforted to know that my children are wise enough to follow their heart compass, to do what they need to do. And they honor that feeling and they keep following that feeling, because your heart energy will always lead you right. No matter the discomforts, no matter the sacrifice, things will turn out right when you follow your heart compass. We help our children recognize the opposite feeling too, the divine discontent. We help them recognize that discomfort from being passive, the discomfort from self-betrayal. We help the children recognize when they're misaligned to God, they're not doing what they're meant to do. We help them recognize when they're blaming, when they're giving away their power. And so if they recognize that yucky feeling, then as soon as they feel that yucky feeling again, they'll stop themselves. Okay, and they'll realign because they know where that's going and they know what that feeling is about. Sometimes people are so tolerant of that discomfort, that's what they normally feel. And they always feel that way and they accept that and settle for that. And so I teach my kids that we have a higher standard. Okay, we don't have to live vibrating at that level. We can live happily with unity, with loyalty, with joy, with pleasure. Okay, teach them to recognize the different energies of the heart. I help my children see and recognize that there is value and perfection in all of their experiences, and just be grateful for the good and the bad experiences. Okay, in that way they're always successful. We will assume that there's a silver lining in every lesson. We will assume that God's got our back, that things are meant to be, that we can see the positive in all situations. Because why not? What's the benefit of seeing the negative in all situations, right? There's no benefit there, but there's benefit seeing the positive in the situations, okay, what we can benefit from it, right? So I teach my kids to see that and they live a happier life. Their perspective of the world is more hopeful and happier. I help my children value divine progression over comfort, okay, leading to their divine potential. So that means as they grow, there's going to be discomforts, but they're okay with discomforts. Okay, when the going gets tough, they get tougher. They don't give up. Okay, and we produce resilient kids, and that's awesome. So if our children understand the power of choice, right, and they own their power of choice, what are the benefits? The benefits are that they become compliant. They're more obedient kids because they have chosen They're more obedient kids because they have their own reasons for why they do what they do. They're safer, they are more creative, more decisive, more secure, more resilient, more confident, more focused, grateful, proactive, strong, happy, productive, and spiritually mature people. They have great communication skills because they can articulate feelings, thoughts, values, and beliefs. They feel safe to make mistakes, and thus reducing the chances of making major mistakes in the future. I've done many energy balancing sessions with people who've not been allowed to make choices in their lives. And when they become adults, the first few choices that they are free to make, they make the wrong choice. It's very hard for them, and they tend to make major mistakes later on because they weren't allowed to make little mini mistakes at home. It's less likely that our children will be rebellious, uncivil, feel stuck, and unmotivated. Of course, when you have a strong hold on your power of choice, then you attract people like you. These people become self-sufficient. They're not easily troubled. They have clearer expectations because they communicate so well. They're less likely to experience disappointments. They are level-headed children and they become level-headed adults. The reason why we overcome our problems easier is because we've learned to master the elements inside of us. The reason why these children are more successful at overcoming problems, it's easier for them to master the elements within them. When we have fully owned our power of choice and clarified our identity, we can establish stronger relationships with other humans. We encourage our children to have a strong relationship with God first. Both my husband and I put God first. Our spouse comes second. Okay, our kids come next. So our kids know that God comes first for them, that family comes next. All right, so if God comes first, He will be able to guide us to what best to do for our family. When we all come closer to God, we come closer to each other. Okay, so that's the secret. When we love God first, and we seek God, we'll be able to have guidance in doing what is right. We'll be able to make the best decisions. We talk about having a vision of ideal relationships. Sometimes if we don't talk about these things, we don't know what we're creating, right? We help our kids create a variety of relationships. They need to learn how to develop outward mindset with their siblings, their parents, relatives, friends, and acquaintances. Okay, how do we serve other people? How do we put ourselves into their shoes? All my kids are taught to be respectful to all their teachers. One of the twins came home and said, I always thank the teacher for teaching that day, especially when she's had a hard day. One day when my daughter did it again, the teacher turned to my daughter and said, you were brought up right. And she came home beaming and she says, Mom, the teacher praised me. The same daughter actually, she's a very good student. She always tries to do her assignments as soon as she receives it, so she doesn't procrastinate and leave it to the last minute. For one of her assignments, she finished so quickly that she put it out of her mind and she forgot to hand in her homework. When she looked at her grades, she noticed that she didn't have a grade for that assignment and she realized that she didn't hand her assignment in. She asked the teacher if she could hand it in still, and the teacher says yes, but she'll get a 60% grade. Even though she was going to get a 60% grade, my daughter handed it in anyways. Because my daughter has had this wonderful relationship with this teacher all year, the teacher changed her mind and said, look, this is uncharacteristic of you, so I'll let this one pass and I'll give you the 100% of the grade. My daughter was so happy that she was able to establish a strong, healthy relationship with her teacher to the point where they trust one another. When I was younger, my mum used to tell me, the parents die and grow old, you still have one another, so take care of your siblings. That stuck with me, and I tell my kids, wherever we go, you will still have your siblings. You still have people that love you. So these are the relationships that we invest in. We want to serve one another, and so as a family, we help the children serve each other and we encourage them to serve one another. Our children are so close to one another, so they feel loved and accepted and supported, and so they're not needy in that way. We help our children explore their different roles and responsibilities in the home, and at work, and at school. And when the kids were little, we asked them a trick question: whose job is it to do the dishes? It's not mummy's job, it's not daddy's job, it's not your job, it's everyone's job. Okay, if you eat, you need to clean. Okay, you make a mess, you need to clean. We live in this house, and the ideal is we live in a beautiful, clean house where we feel the Spirit of God, okay, where we feel calm and peace and there's no contention. And when the children understood that, they learned to take responsibility for their part in the house. They will volunteer to do the dishes and clean and vacuum as necessary. We do have a chore chart to make sure everything gets done. Our children easily go above and beyond because they have ownership in this home, and they have ownership in our home as well. Okay, we talked about school. What's your role in the school? And at work, if they do work, some of these things need to be talked about and clarified and explicitly taught. We explore future roles they want to play in the world. How do they want to contribute to the world? When I grow up, I'll help the world in this way. I'll do this and I'll do that. We encourage that kind of thinking. We encourage our children to accept and honor their body as blessings from God. We teach them about the literal language of the body. We tell them that the body houses the Spirit of God. It houses their heart compass. Okay, our physical health problems give us clues to help us change and realign. So they appreciate their body, and they're learning more and more each day of how to take care of their bodies. My husband and I make sure that we don't get mad at our bodies or we get angry at our weight or anything, because we don't want to set that as an example for our children. At this age, we should allow our children to alternate between childhood and adulthood. Some days they're very responsible and they can do things, and other days they just need a hug. Some days they need help and they need to be let off the hook. We need to feel that balance in our heart, and we need to give our children what they need, because it's a time of adjustment for them. So they're allowed to go back and forth until they're used to being the adult. We teach our kids the difference between dependency, independency, interdependency, and codependency. Dependency is when they can't take care of themselves and they need everyone else to help. And that's what happens when they're babies, right? And as they get older, they can be independent. They can dress themselves, they can clean, they can feed themselves. And the higher ideal is the interdependency. That means everybody plays their role well for a united family to function well. Codependency means you hold other people responsible for your happiness. You won't be happy unless other people do something for you. You won't be happy unless someone else changes in some way for you. Okay, so that's codependency, and that's not healthy. And so we teach our kids the difference. When they meet friends, and maybe in the future when they have boyfriends, they will understand the difference, okay? And they can recognize it quickly and be able to communicate it. We teach our kids the difference between community and collaboration versus competition and comparison. If everybody owns their power of choice, if everybody knows their identity, knows their role, okay, we can work together as a community and be happy. There is no need for the scarcity mindset, okay, where, we are competing for that one spot on top, the best, the biggest, the prettiest and stuff. There's no competition there. It's not necessary. It's distracting and it's damaging to relationships. So we don't do competitions in our house. We try to not have a lot of competitive games or exclusive games. We don't do comparisons. It's very difficult to compare when we're all different in so many ways. So it's not necessary to compare, and it's not necessary to compete. Happiness doesn't live there. Make sure as adults you understand the difference between abundance and scarcity mentality too. If we want our children to grow up empowered, happy, productive adults, they have to understand where happiness and productivity comes from. It comes from the abundance mindset, not the scarcity mindset. So let's review our goals. I hope I helped inform you and give you ideas. I hope that you feel like you can break outdated patterns and behaviors through intentional parenting. I hope you can see that we can help create empowered, spiritually mature, happy adults. Hopefully you can see that as we direct our children to their divine potential and purpose, that they will know what to do, that they will be able to be interdependent and powerful adults. They don't have to do what we tell them to do, okay? They just need to do what God tells them to do. Remember, we have these tools to help our children adjust and adapt to the new beliefs that we're teaching them. There are a lot of tools that we can use to help support our children, okay? So I feel like we've met the goals for today, but of course this is something that we need to continue to develop. It's not something that we can check off. Because I love the doTERRA brand so much, I became a doTERRA consultant. If you'd like to start your journey with doTERRA, go ahead and get a doTERRA wholesale account. You can talk to the person that sent you this video. If you don't have a doTERRA person, you can talk to me about this. A wholesale account is just one-time fee of $35 for the whole year. And after that, if you would like to renew, it's only $25 per year, and you get a free $27 peppermint oil. You can buy all your products for 25% off below retail. if you don't want to pay that initial $35 membership fee, you can actually buy a kit, okay? And the $35 will be waived. When you become a doTERRA member with me, I'll be able to do a free consultation with you and give you a health plan. So here are some starter kit options. If you contact a doTERRA consultant, they will be able to help you find the right kit for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you would like to book an energy balancing session with me, please visit my website, jadebalden.com. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like and follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Please support this course by commenting below and sharing this video with your friends. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.